Good evening, everyone. My name is Sergio Arias Gallego, and I'm doing a Master in Education. My research project is called The Teachers What to Do in the Framework of the Colombian Armed Conflict. This research process arises because it's necessary to ask yourself how interesting is the teaching in a classroom according to what the people of El Municipio del Guaviare experience during violent times, and we get that information through the communication with the people who live there and who went through this armed conflict, listening to their life stories that bring us memories that are still present in the lives of all those persons. On the other hand, as teachers, we have to be aware of the fact that during the conflict, many teachers got involved and had to accept their enemies and even change the teaching practices to find possible solutions because it was really complicated for their students and they had a difficult moment and they had a harsh time. So I think that's just incredible because they had to use another methodologies. That's why, as a justification, for me, it's necessary to go back to our past and investigate their experiences, the teachers' experiences, elaborating a historical memory where we give importance to the teachers that went through this, and so give them a chance to raise their voice and thus try to get the assessment of these change processes they lived. That's how we're going to emphasize the research on the life stories of four teachers in order to give in a contribution for their great efforts and their abilities to the strengthening of students' skills and learning. In addition to that, I also want to make teachers understand that they are generators of opportunities and support agents, not only for El Departamento del Guaviare, but our country and the rest of the world. In the background of this research, it's important to know that it was Mauricio Lizarralde who developed it for his master's degree in education and community development, from the stories of the teachers and putting on the characteristics of the processes of socialization and identity construction in the context of the war lived by the teachers themselves. Also, another important aspect that I think it's important to have in mind is that in an investigation carried out by La Salle University in a work entitled Education and Culture for the Human Development of El Guaviare in a Post-Conflict, Stephanie Ortiz faced it within education and culture in El Departamento del Guaviare, discovering results of public policies imposed from the center of the country and the dynamics and the social dynamics and political issues that this territory has historically faced in education. There's a picture. An overall objective is to build a historical memory of teachers about their educational work in the context of the armed conflict in the municipality of San Jose de Guaviare. And two specific objectives are identity identify the victimizing facts that have marked or affected the municipality of San Jose de Guaviare within the Colombian armed conflict, and understand the most significant moments of the teachers' experiences in the context of the armed conflict in San Jose de Guaviare. There's a picture and there's the contextual framework. There are three contextual frameworks, which are educational what to do, Colombian armed conflict, and life story. The methodology. The research makes use of the qualitative approach described as the one that pays attention to a phenomenon that depends on the social and cultural world in which the individual is immersed. So it's really important to inquire freely, but under guidelines that allow defining the problem. As a conclusion, I think it's really important, and just as this paragraph says, this proposal emphasizes the relevance of articulating the teachers in this experience of the Colombian post-conflict, not leaving aside the important history that was conceived within the armed conflict and the educational task, which at the same time contributes to the contribution of the construction of the Colombian peace. And let's remember this, that I want to make all of you understand, and is that the teacher is the main research agent and the one who allows us to emphasize education as a fundamental dimension for the transformation of the living condition of the population affected by the armed conflict. and this could not be otherwise than through oral environment, becoming an indispensable tool in the elaboration of historical memory, and that's why I leave the investigation with an open question. Is it necessary to know the history of our teachers to start living through post-conflict, or is it possible or better to leave the teachers aside and not be part of the true process of change and evolution in our country? Thank you very much.